All right, Mama. Today we are going to have us some fun because if you've ever had a child walk into your Zoom call half dressed, okay, had somebody yell "Mommy" at the exact moment you were trying to sound as professional as possible, or recorded the same video 17 times because somebody just had to interrupt you, somebody needed a snack, somebody had to go to the bathroom, or whatever the case may be, or maybe even you attended a meeting looking business ready, uh, only from the top up, the waist up, right? And completely exhausted from the waist down, just done, tired, over it. Then this episode is for you because today we're talking about mompreneur bloopers when we return. Welcome back to another episode of the Making of a Mompreneur Show. I am your host, Rashida Green, the founder and CEO of Get Right Coaching, the host of the wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy, where we help moms to start, grow, and scale online businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves in the process. And we do that through coaching, content, community, and the Digimompreneur Academy. So, welcome again. Today, we are talking about mompreneur bloopers. Real life doesn't pause for business. Nope, it does not. As entrepreneurs, we continue to build, build, build. As mom entrepreneurs, though, we have a little bit extra going on. Last episode, we talked about building a business without losing your family in the process. And today, we're talking about what happens when family and business collide because social media loves to show polished. You looking at these Instagram reels and everything looks just so beautiful and wonderful, but motherhood is beautifully unpolished, right? It's beautiful, but no, it is nothing perfect about it. And sometimes entrepreneurship looks a lot less like a corner office and a lot more like answering emails from the school pickup line, or dare I say, from the restroom where you get no break, right? So I want to break this down today so that you can know that this is a myth, the myth of the perfect mompreneur. Now, if you are joining us live, go ahead and put live in the hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And of course, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you haven't already, I want you to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode, especially if you have friends and mom entrepreneurs who are ready to laugh with you. You can follow us on at the Digimompreneur on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We would love to have you join us in our little community. So let's start here. I think many moms secretly believe that successful entrepreneurs have it all together, right? Their house is clean, their schedule is organized, their content is just polished and planned, and their children are quiet. And then we look at our lives and think, what am I doing wrong? But here's the truth. Most successful mompreneurs, they have stories. They have stories. Yes, they do. If you listen quietly, they have funny stories. They have embarrassing stories. They have messy stories. And guess what? It's all because real life keeps happening while you're building your business. Let's go ahead and reflect on Proverbs 31 and 25. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. And I love that scripture because she can laugh. She got to laugh. Not panic, not obsess, not strive. Just laugh, be free, enjoy. There's something powerful about learning to laugh at the imperfections of the journey because if we are so rigid and so stiff, um, during these times, we are only going to make ourselves miserable. Why? Miserable. Why? Because we have children and children are unpredictable. So let's talk about it. Blooper number one, the professional moment that became a family moment. Every mom has one. I'm sure if you roll it back in your database, you know you've had that important call or that live stream, that webinar, that client meeting, and suddenly somebody needs a snack, a charger, a permission slip, or hey, a band-aid, anything. All these things come up while you are trying to be professional. Or somebody wants to tell you an extremely important story. I mean, it's extremely important. I gotta tell you, you gotta listen. This is going on about something that happened 3 minutes ago, right? Or something that happened last week, but it's so important right now. And what do we learn from that? Well, listen, we learn that life doesn't stop because business starts. It just doesn't. The goal cannot be perfection because we will never be perfect. The goal is adaptability, being able to move and shake and do what we need to do when we need to do it so that we can accomplish the goal that we set out. And so I know you had this happen to you. If you did, drop it in the comments. We need some funny stories to lighten up our Mompreneur HQ community. So go ahead and share that story where you had that blooper where you were in a professional moment that turned into a family moment, a family gathering of sorts. How about blooper number 2, the multitasking Olympics? Come on now. That's what we do all day, every day. Let's talk about unrealistic expectations that we sometimes put on ourselves. We're making dinner, we're checking emails, we're helping with homework, responding to clients, thinking about content, all simultaneously, and it seems like all at the same breath. It's like we do it so naturally and it just happens. And yet we wonder why we're exhausted because we're not sitting down and taking care of ourselves and doing that one thing at a time. We are literally doing all of this at one time and then looking at our spouses or significant others like, well, what are you doing? Because I'm over here juggling, right? Sometimes the blooper isn't what happened. The blooper is believing we can do everything at once. Like, really, that's the whole multitasking Olympics. We really do believe that we can do all of it at once. And it is incredibly hilarious how we think we can do all this, right? Well, I'm sure if you have an idea about how many things you can do. Matter of fact, maybe that should be the challenge. Drop how many things that you have done, literally have found yourself doing at one time while running your business and your household. That should be hilarious. Drop it in the comment. Blooper number 3, the social media versus reality gap. I mean, it creates all kinds of imposter syndrome. I get it. But have you ever looked at someone online and thought, wow, she has it all together. Meanwhile, you're trying to remember, did I send the email? Did I open the email? Did I sign the permission slip? Did I send the the donation? Did I move the laundry? Did I fold the laundry? I mean, most of us are comparing our real life to someone else's highlight reel. And that's not a fair comparison. We got to put that to sleep, put it to bed. Don't do it no more. It's done over. Somebody That's why I said they have stories, right? Because in order for them to get where they are today, where they look so polished and so put together, there had to be those struggle moments. And it just so happens that they're at level letter M and you're just at A. So don't compare yourself. It just really doesn't do you any good. But that's another myth, that we can do all things at one time and still be successful. And we really do have to pull it back, dial it back sometimes. So the multitasking Olympics. Blooper number 4. When the kids become unofficial employees. Now, I'm a proponent of making your kids full-time employees in your business, tax deductions, all that good stuff. But I'm not an accountant, so talk to your accountant and your tax preparer before you go ahead and do any such thing. But it is an option. But how about when the kids become unofficial employees? Let's be honest. Many of our children have accidentally become a part of the business. And I'm going to tell you now, holding cameras, testing products, giving opinions nobody asked for, they join in with the shenanigans and somehow becoming a part of the story in the process. And those moments can feel inconvenient, but years later, they're often the memories we cherish. Like for me, sometimes as I'm putting on this show, I have a child, even though I have a sign that says I'm going live, even though I yell down the hallway to everybody, let them know I'm going live. Whatever the case may be, I am going live. And it just so happens one of the kids come busting in the door, and then that's when I have to like wave the flag. Because before I got caught like doing one of them numbers, like to tell them to sit down and kind of almost forgetting that I was on a call. So that has happened. So sometimes I got to keep my little flag. I don't have a red one to be like, stop. So I'll throw out my little orange flag and be like, and sometimes my face still shows it because I can't really control it all the time. So, sometimes I can still be talking to you and waving my flag on the side. And then there are other times when my face is like, but I have to laugh at it sometimes because that's life. It really is. So I need you to know that I need to know what's your funniest mompreneur blooper. What happened? I want you to drop it in the comments or the chat, whichever. And let's normalize that the reality of building a business as a mama and raising a family is going to be messy sometimes. It is not going to be perfect. And so we need to normalize that, because all this pretty perfect polished look that people have online, they didn't get there overnight. It took some time to develop that. It took some conversations, and we're going to talk about that as we continue our series, the BFFs, our main pillars of the Mompreneur HQ community. We talked about business, we talked about faith. Now we're on the family, the F for family. And here's what I hope you take away from today. Your bloopers are not proof that you're failing. They're proof that you're living. You are living your life as a parent and a business, as an entrepreneur. And they don't disqualify you from success. They simply remind you that you're building a business while raising humans. And that is no small feat, okay? So this week, I want you to give yourself permission to laugh a little more. Be a little freer. When things don't go perfectly, they don't go as they were planned. When motherhood interrupts business, take a breath. Inhale, exhale, and remember, you don't need a perfect life to build a meaningful business. You just need persistence, grace, and a sense of humor. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And next week, we're going to talk about the family meeting, how to make your business a team sport, because building a business gets easier when the people in your home understand the vision and can support you too. All right. Thank you for joining us again for the Making of a Mompreneur show. And we will see you at the next episode. Until next time.